Hey everybody, so today's Monday. That means it's time for family movie night. And this is the first Monday of May. So that means we are starting Muppet May. This is so exciting. This is like my fourth year, I think, doing Muppet May. So we've gone through a lot of the basic ones. We've done all the Muppet movies previously. And so make sure you check out the playlist where I have all of my Muppet May videos. So make sure to take a look at that after you watch this video. But today we're talking about the 80s sci-fi classic from 1986. It is Labyrinth. And this was directed by Jim Henson, who created the Muppets. And so that's why even though it's not an official Muppet movie, it has lots of puppetry and it's directed by Jim Henson. So we definitely got to talk about it. And I had not seen this for a long time, if ever. I don't know. It was definitely felt like a first time watching this time. And I was left, for the most part, enjoying it. I think that the biggest strength of the movie is David Bowie, and he is so great and having the time of his life filming this movie. And the other creature designs and character designs and world building, it's a lot of fun and very creative. And I like that a lot. The story is not the best story. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's Jennifer Connelly. She has to go on this journey through this labyrinth to find her brother. And it starts out with her, she's babysitting her brother all the time. And I don't know why she is expected to babysit all that much by her stepmom. And they're treating her like she's being so insolent when it's totally reasonable to not want to babysit your baby brother all the time, especially when he's crying and crying and crying and crying. And I definitely could relate to that because I had younger siblings growing up. My mom had a baby when I was 10, 16, and 18. So I can relate to what Sarah was going through having to babysit her baby brother. Of course, I never cursed my baby brother, my baby siblings like she does. And she was just, they would go away and never come back. And they end up granting her wish and he ends up in the labyrinth. And that's when Jareth comes and tells her that she has 13 hours in order to find her brother in the labyrinth and save the day. So then basically the rest of the movie is her sort of meeting different creatures and facing different challenges along the way in the labyrinth. It's probably as close to a Wizard of Oz-ish film that we've gotten that's been successful since the original, even though this is an original story, it's not part of the Wizard of Oz. I feel like it has a lot of the same beats as Wizard of Oz. She is sent by basically like a wizard type character to go on this journey, and she meets all of these creatures along the way. Some of them helpful, some of them not. Dorothy meets the Scarecrow here. She meets Toby and the different creatures. And overall, it's fine. It's made better by the fact that it's under 2 hours, which a lot of these kind of fantasy movies get stretched out. If this was like 2.5 hours long, that would be a lot harder, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. And you have David Bowie being really fun, and the David Bowie music and everything is great. And so that helps you stay invested in what is a fairly pedestrian story. But there's enough creativity here, enough to enjoy, to definitely recommend it. And I think especially if you like this kind of fantasy type stories, then I think you'll enjoy this one. I think that I probably enjoyed Time Bandits a little bit more than this as far as your 80s fantasy kind of stories, because that one's a little more crazy. And I just kind of invested more in the wackiness of it all. But this, and I think that Jennifer Connelly is kind of bland in this. Like she's just, I don't know, I'd like more of her character and her to have a little more personality. But yeah, you had a bunch of these kinds of fantasy stories in the 80s with Time Bandits and Labyrinth and Willow and a bunch of other movies like that. And overall, I think this one is pretty decent. I enjoyed it, even though I thought, like I said, the story was kind of pedestrian and nothing too great about it. The world building and the creativity, the music, David Bowie is enough to recommend the film. So I give it like a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you think of Labyrinth is one of your favorites. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. We are very excited to be starting at Muppet May. So that's something to look forward to. And make sure you check out our Patreon. I would be so grateful for that. It means a lot to me. I also have merch store, which is a lot of fun. Take a look over there. So thanks everybody. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.